What's up, guys? I'm here in my home office today, and I just wrapped up about a 45-minute conversation with Justin Coomber with Raincheck. Raincheck runs all of my social media advertising for my local boat detailing business here in Pensacola, Florida. They also do my website design and management. They do all of our SEO work, and these guys are the reason why my company is exploding right now and growing so much that I actually have to tell them to turn my advertising off because we have too much work that we can't handle. If you are starting a boat detailing business and you have marketing questions, please watch this full video. We give you guys thousands of dollars of information for free that you can use tomorrow to start making money. Let's jump into it. We got Justin here. Thank you, man, so much for just meeting with me today and just providing as much value as possible. So let's just hop into the very first question. And that's going to be, what if a boat detailer or someone starting a detailing business has no marketing budget and they want to start presenting themselves online to start getting clients right away?
I think first by defining what the word marketing means. To us, the way that we say it at our company, marketing means to make known. That's the pure definition of what it means. So it means to make known. So you need to make your business known to people. And if they know you, they know your services that you provide, only then can they purchase from you. If they do not know you, they cannot buy from you. So that's number one. You just need to understand that first they need to get to know you. So with no budget, there's multiple ways, online and offline. First things first is creating an Instagram profile, Facebook profile, making a good logo, putting that on there, getting a good photo of you and your team, of you guys working on a boat, even if it's one job, even if you Photoshop it, don't do that. But I mean, hey.
Steal other people's photos.
Steal other people's photos. If they see Drake on there, it's fine. Yeah.
Literally, I'm like, it's me and my guys working on a boat. I'm like, what the heck?
If you're like, I didn't know we were working there.
Yeah.
But get something that reflects the quality that you guys do. If you have a crappy photo, people are going to think you do crappy work. So every bit that they see online is a reflection of the work that you do, and people judge it subconsciously. So if you have bad photos, they're going to think you do bad work. So that's number one. You don't have to have lots. Just make sure the few that you do select are very, very good quality. So put that on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and your Google business profile. That is the biggest one. So set up Facebook, set up Instagram, make sure your email, your phone number, your working hours, where you operate, all of that. So if someone at a glance can see exactly where you are and what you do, they can contact you. Now for Google business profile, this is one of the biggest ones, is setting this up correctly. So it's very easy to set up. You just go to Google, search Google business profile, create it. There's multiple steps here that, especially now in the way the internet is changing, the way AI is coming and all this, the Google business profile is probably one of the most important things for your business. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time here just to make sure that this is dialed in, or that you can get this dialed in. But once again, making sure your name is on there correctly. Making sure that you have one or two good photos, your logo, making sure that your primary service that you do is selected. So you'll have a primary category, and then you're going to have multiple other categories. You can only have one primary category. Make sure that that is what your business is, right? If you're a boat detailer,
so I don't want to cut you off, but that was one thing on ours.
On yours,
primary category was actually boat repair shop, and we had to change it to boat detailing service. Yeah.
So boat detailing service, I mean, we can maybe chat about it later, but we've been running SEO for you and changing that, and we've already seen a massive jump in some minor tweaks and things.
Okay.
But that's number one.
By changing it to boat
by
detail
changing
service?
it and optimizing a bunch of other things.
Sweet.
So the other thing is making sure your primary service is what you actually do, and then choose all the other services that actually relate to your business. So don't choose, if you're a boat detailer and you don't do cars, don't choose a car detailer or auto detailer, because what's that going to do? It's going to tell Google that when they search for you, they're going to see your business, and it's basically going to dilute of what you do, because you're going to be all over the show. So if you just choose 2 or 3 things that you specifically do. From there, it's very simple. If you click edit your profile in Google, it'll just give you a bunch of categories. What are your services? What are your products? What are your working hours? All these kinds of things. Fill in every single category. The more information you give Google for this, the more it knows about you and sees you as a trusted or more complete business. So that's very important. Just spend 30 minutes. Go in there and fill out every single thing and do it well. Use ChatGPT. If you don't know a description for your business, just tell ChatGPT, I'm a boat detailing business in, for example, Drake in Pensacola, Florida. This is my services. Write me a description for Google Business. It'll give you something, add it in there. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it's important.
Yeah, that's so good. That is a massive, all of that is super massive, because a lot of people will start a business and they don't know where to start. And Google, that is the mothership of search engine. I mean,
most people, especially your clients, because a lot of people like, one thing that I had to remember is that my clients aren't my age. They don't really think like me. And most people starting a boat detailing business are probably kind of in their earlier 20s, and they'll get on TikTok and write some stuff. But unfortunately, other 20-year-olds are not buying your services. So you have to make sure that you're actually getting in front of the people that actually, one, can buy your service, and two, want to buy your service. And that's going to be the older generation typically. An older generation, they're usually going to be going to Google to search for services. So now when they do that, I know the importance, but most people don't. But what is the importance of getting on the Google My Business? Does that show up on maps? What does that look like when someone types in on Google?
So what that does is when you fill that in, hopefully you'll have an address. This is the other thing, having an address is very important. So even if you try to use your house, they may ask for verification, they might reject it. But if you can try get a specific location address in the area that you're working, when people search on the actual maps. So if people go on Google Maps or search, or even just Google, what it does, so for example, if we search boat detailing Pensacola, Google will then go look through the maps, look at the names and the services that you provide. So this is why it's important to actually write out what you do, because it's going to be like, who is a boat detailer in this area? It's going to look on the maps, and then it's going to show it to that person. And if you have a more complete profile, better reviews, all this kind of stuff, it's going to see you as a more authoritative figure. Your business is better in their eyes compared to others, and it will show you number one. Now, like Jake was saying, you've got to look at your business through a customer's eyes. And you'll do the same. When you look at a restaurant or something, you'll look at the first one normally, the top three that show up in the map, like we call it the map pack. You don't go much further than that. You don't go to the 5th, 6th, 7th one. Oftentimes you'll see the top one, you're like, that looks good. If they're at the top, I trust them if they have reviews, whatever the case is. You click that, 90% of the business is going to go there. So that's what happens. Like Drake was saying, thinking like your actual customers. If they're going to be a 60-year-old guy that's doesn't really know how technology works, how Google works. It's just going to type in boat detailing, boat cleaning even, right? They don't even necessarily know it's detailing. They could call it boat wash. So include those words, Pensacola or wherever your place is, Orange Beach, whatever the case is. Yeah. Just think of what they would type in, put yourself, be like, what would this guy type? And then try and use all of that in your Google.
Yeah, man, that's super good. Yeah. And another huge factor, as far as my understanding, and let me know if I'm not correct, but the only way to get Google reviews is by setting up a Google business profile, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot get Google reviews because they have to be linked to that profile.
Yeah.
And that's the next big thing, Google reviews. So this is what we're seeing, a big change in the way that AI is working as well. You'll notice sometimes when you Google, it'll pop out a little AI review or AI answer. It looks through a whole bunch of things. So especially if you're a local business, they will look at Google reviews, and it's becoming more and more and more important. Not just the reviews, but it's the number of reviews you have, the quality of those reviews. It has to be, above 4.6 stars most of the time, so at least 5 stars, and the quality of those reviews. So the quality of reviews may sound strange, but what I mean by that is, instead of someone just saying Drake did a good job, 5 stars, that is not it's a good review, it's 5 stars, but it's not a super qualitative review. A quality review will be, Drake and his team at Revival Marine Care did an amazing job doing a wash and wax package on my boat. They were on time, super professional, really loved them, would definitely use them again. So using different words of what their services were, a longer review and explaining a bit more is what Google actually looks at. It looks at what they would call that quality review. And what you can do to get reviews from people like that is actually prompt them. Like you would in AI, you can tell people, hey, I would really love it if you could leave our business a review. We did a wash and wax in your boat. It would be amazing if you just mention, what the team did, if you enjoyed it, and if we were professional and on time. That really helps our business. So you can actually tell them what you want said on your review. And the more you get that, so more of those reviews and the better quality ones, you'll see your rankings start increasing.
Dang, dude, that's so good. I didn't even know that, so that's good. I'm going to start telling my clients, like, please write a good review.
Say, Drake at Revival Marine Care with the wash and wax package did an amazing job.
I'm going to just type it up for them and say, hey, submit this.
You actually can. You
that might actually work.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been blessed too. Like, a lot of my clients that have left reviews have kind of done that naturally on their own, just like leaving a really nice review, even submitting. When someone leaves a review on Google and they also submit photos, does that make it even higher quality? Because I know a few of my clients have done that, and I didn't know if it actually added any benefit to it or not. So it does.
So it does in two ways. So the two would be just the psychological way that we as people work. If I see you leaving a review on my business with photos of the work you did, that means someone went out their way with a little bit extra effort to post that, which means it's probably better than a 5-star. Like it shows for us, they're like, okay, they did even more. It's slightly different than just a normal 5-star review. And then Google also sees it as they also see it as just a good thing. They're like, okay, there's more information. And then the last thing on this, super important, is you have to reply. And if you can reply within 8 hours, that is the goal. So replying and also replying, not just saying thanks for thumbs up, but also giving a quality review or a reply. Thanks so much, Jenny, for replying to this. We really appreciate you and your business. We'd love to see you guys in the next 3 months, whatever the case is.
Why does the 8 hours, like, why is that a factor?
So basically it's unproven, but we're seeing the data towards us. So it's always a big guessing game. And we just see over lots of times that the sooner you do it, it basically tells Google that you're responding to messages or reviews quicker, which means that your customer relation or your customer replies is on point.
Your interactions are better, which shows that you're a quality business, which makes them want to promote you more. Because ultimately, from what I understand, is Google's main purpose is to give the user what they're looking for. So if you are a quality company and you have good reviews, Google's going to show you because Google wants a good reputation. They don't want a reputation of recommending some crappy company. They want a reputation of when you search on Google, you find amazing companies. Understanding that correctly?
Exactly. So all these things are what we call signals. So Google looks at multiple signals and we guess them. This is our job as marketers. We guess what they are, and you can see the data move towards that. But a good signal is having lots of Google reviews. People will then be like, this is a good business. They reply to Google reviews often, which means they probably are very good with their customer care. They have a very good website, which probably means they put time and effort and money into making their business look good, which means they probably look after their customers really well. They're just signals that show that you are a business that probably does very well and cares for their customers.
Yeah, that's good, man. Well, sweet. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, dude. Now, you just hit on a website. Do you have to have a website to be on Google Business?
You don't.
Okay.
So in the beginning, so if we're talking for guys that are just starting, it's a bit tricky. Nowadays, you can build a pretty good website by yourself if you have any sort of basic, understanding of how the internet works, and if you've used it for a bit, you can build a basic website. And I think it would be beneficial, even if you have 1 or 2 pages, even if it's 1 page that just has information about your business and a contact form. You can still publish that to Google and have it on there so people can click and just have a look, have some pictures, explain about you and your business and your amazing story about how you started and what you're wanting to do. Once again, that's another signal for Google because it has more information. They'll index it, which basically means once a website is live, it doesn't mean that Google knows about it. It's just on the internet. And when Google crawls it, so they go through it, they look at all the information on there, it gives them more information about you. So when they look at your Google business profile, they'll see your Instagram, your Facebook, your website, all these things create a better picture of what you and your business do. And that would help you. And also for a customer.
And it just makes you more credible as a business. But you don't actually need a website.
You don't need it, but I would recommend.
Super recommend.
Yeah, very much
when I first started 12 years ago, I built my website before I even started my business. Like that was it. And at the time, I was one of the only detailers in my local area that had a website, because that was like before people built websites. And now there's plenty of different platforms and whatnot that you can. But having a solid website, that'll probably be in the next category when we get into once you start making some money, what to do. But I know that's crazy important.
The last thing I would say is if you're just starting and you need Google reviews, the more the better. There are multiple ways you can do this that you don't even need to be your clients. You can take every single contact in your contact list, send them a message and say, hey, I'm starting a new business. This is what I'm doing. I would love it if you left a review that spoke well of whether it be just my character or work ethic. So it doesn't, you're not lying. You're not asking people to lie. You're telling them to back you as a person. So you'll say, hey, could you leave me a review like telling them how hard we work? And if they know you and they like you and they want to back you, they'll say, John is amazing. He has the best work ethic I know. You will never regret hiring him for your services. And you could rack 20, 30, 40, 50 reviews without even doing a job, but it's just backing who you are. So that's
really
one
good,
way.
man.
Or
Yeah,
even
that's
offering people, like you could bribe them, say like, listen, I'll give you a $10, $50, $20 Amazon gift card. Do that for 1 or 2 clients. But doing that.
Well, one trick that I did in the beginning 12 years ago when I first started my business was when I was trying to generate reviews, I just told people, hey, I'll knock 50 or $100 off your detail. Please just leave me a good review by the time we're finished. You know, that way you don't knock $100 off, you leave, and then, you know, you don't get your review. So that was one thing, is like, as long as they were happy, I would just say, hey, take a second, leave us a good review. On Google Business, you can actually have a shareable link where you can literally text them the link. They just click the link and leave you a good review, and just knock, you know, 50, $100 off, or, you know, whatever. Just get creative with whatever offer you want to give. But that is super effective on getting those reviews. And what Justin said too about reaching out to family members. My mom left me a good review. My dad, my brother. I don't know if it's ethical, but I had about 3 different email accounts at the time. And I was like, Drake's amazing. He'll make your boat shine like never before. You know, dude, you just got to hustle. You got to get out there. You got to hustle, and you got to ask. And a lot of people are afraid of rejection. And it's like, you just got to get over that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's great, man. So I'll kind of touch on a few basics. What Justin was saying is like very, very, very important. Like absolutely 100% do that. Just from a detailer's perspective, a couple free things that you guys can do that cost you 0 time. Justin touched on the Facebook and Instagram. I personally would focus all my power on Facebook. Posting on Facebook, I find that you get in front of more qualified leads by doing that, because your clients are typically on Facebook a lot more than Instagram. Instagram and TikTok are great if you're good at making content and making engaging content, but just a before and after photo on Facebook is really good social proof. And more specifically, if you guys post in local boat fishing groups or beach groups, anything to do with like water, boating, fishing, post in there and offer, hey, I'm doing a 30% off special. I'm doing a 20% off special, $200 off. Come up with some type of enticing offer, especially if you're new, because you got to get work. You have to detail. Like, you can't get better. You can't get more clients until you get some work. So don't be afraid to give some good deals. Get before and after photos. They don't even have to be pretty, but just something that shows what the boat looked like before and what it looked like after you had done. This is all, everything that we just talked about is letting people know who you are. Like what we talked about in the very beginning of this question is, people cannot call your company, people cannot hire you as a detailer if they do not know who you are. So in order to do that, get on Google right now, pause the video, go set up your Google business profile, set up your Facebook account, start posting in some local groups, take before and afters, get reviews. All of this stuff is how you let people know that you're open for business and you want some more.
I was speaking to a client of ours that is recently, he started his company super recently, work detailing, and he got to his first 10, 15K a month only posting in Facebook groups, spamming that, just telling everyone, this is what I do, look at my work, this is what I do, just going from group to group to group. And he got to his first 10, 15K like that. And now he's coming to us to market to grow.
It's just really cool. Like Facebook groups, they really do work. And I personally, I'm a believer that if people aren't getting annoyed with you, then you're not doing it enough. You know, do it until people start flagging you and getting annoyed, because not only do you have to post one time, you have to post many times, because most people won't call you until they see your post between 5 and 10 times, somewhere in that number. And that's a big mistake a lot of guys do. They'll post something and they'll go, hey, this stuff doesn't work. And it's like, well, how many times you post? Well, I put a post up. I'm like, dude, no. This is an everyday thing. Like, post
Those are rookie
Monday,
numbers.
Wednesday, Friday. Yeah, those are, you got to get those numbers up, man. So, yeah, dude, post, Google, do it. Now, let's kind of go ahead and talk about how you guys help companies that are starting to gain some traction. They're getting Google reviews on Google Business. They're tired of posting in phishing groups. You know, they want to grow. What is that next step? Say they're making anywhere from 2,000 to 7,000, 10,000 a month, but they want to take their business from 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month. Like, what could you do to help these people get to that next level in their business?
So what we do, or effectively the way that people use us, is we are leverage for you and your business. So what I mean by that is you pay us money to take back your time to gain expert skills in a specific area to gain you more business. That's all you're doing. So you're trading your money for time because you're running a business now. So if you're detailing all the time, you're managing a crew, all this, you don't have time to post in Facebook groups. You don't have time to manage your website, build a website, manage your Google, do your SEO, put Google ads, all these things. That takes a lot of time and expertise keeping up with everything. So that's when you come to us. You're like, okay, I now have some potential money that I can spend towards this to continue to grow my business, that I don't have to worry about it. I can pay someone that is well known in the area. I know they can deliver results. That's obviously very important. We do that, by the way. But you hire us to then increase the amount of leads that are coming in through these various channels, just so that you're able to get your time back to actually grow the business, work on the business, not in the business. And there's multiple ways you can do that. And you can use them at different stages. So for boat detailers specifically, you can do, websites are important. Having a high converting website is that, as you're growing, becomes more important, because the more people that come to your website, if you have, let's say, only 100 people come to your website, you're not going to get that many leads through, let's say 100 people a month. But if you're having 2, 3, 4,000 people visiting your website every month, if the website's not great and only 1% of those people end up converting by either filling in a form or trying to get in contact with you, out of 1,000 people, 1% is, what is that, 100? No, it's 10. That's 10
Don't
people
ask
that
me,
are
I'm
getting,
bad at math.
that's 10 people that are getting in contact with you.
I'm just
but
a boat washer, dude.
Just a boat detail.
Sorry.
But if you increase that to 2 or 3%, you've just doubled or tripled now the amount of
Yeah.
people that are getting in contact with you, which could be $10,000 of work
Yeah.
right there, just by increasing it by 1 or 2%. And that could be just by making the website more beautiful, making it more clear where the call to actions are on a website. And that's where you hire people like us to build a new website that increases the conversion rate. So that's number one, a website. Number 2 and number 3 would be your SEO and Facebook ads. Facebook ads is the easiest and quickest way to get more leads. Because the way that you do that is you're effectively giving Facebook money and you're saying, take my content, my video and my offer or my picture and put it in front of 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people's eyeballs. That's what you're saying. It's like, force this in front of people. When you see ads, it's people paying to show you that stuff. And you would have bought from ads, so you know that they work. And I mean, Drake can attest, we've done ads for the last, it's coming up on a year, I think, that we've been running ads for you guys, and the results have been insane, like absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's and I will. When I brought on Justin to do this for me, I was scared because I'm like, I was the detailing business owner that I wanted to control everything. I wanted to do everything because I'm Superman and I can work really hard and I can do all things. But it was getting to the point where I'm dropping the ball. I'm not calling customers back because I'm so busy detailing. So I can't market. And when I market, now I'm not detailing. It's like this like rat race of like, I can never do it. And what Justin's team did is when we started partnering together, I just called him and I was like, dude, I'm spending like, I think I was doing like 300 to 500 a month on Facebook ads. And, you know, I'm not getting any traction and all this stuff. And he was like, well, first of all, those are rookie numbers. We got to bump those numbers up. and I'm like, dude, what the heck are you talking about? And anyway, we can get into budgets and stuff in a little bit, but he was like, trust me, when we dial it in and we target the right people, we want our ad to show up, not just one time at $500 a month, and you're marketing to 10,000 people. They're only seeing your post one time and they're scrolling past it. At our new budget, which I think we're right around 1,000 a month, which sounds crazy, But at $1,000 a month, now we're popping up 7, 10, 11 times. I've got people that stop me at gas stations and be like, man, I saw your Facebook ad, and I'm like, whoa. I told Justin, I was like, look, I want to be that annoying guy that every time you get on Facebook, my face is on your Facebook. And that's exactly what they did. And it is quite crazy when they optimize my Facebook ads. Like, we'll run it for a month and we book out 3 months. Like, I mean, I think we've paused our ads for the last 3 months because we booked out so far. Like, I told him, like, dude, turn it off. Like, I'm getting too much work, which is a phenomenal problem to have. And, like, trusting the process, investing, and actually taking a risk. A lot of the times, guys, for myself, I'm preaching to myself, I couldn't grow in business because I wasn't willing to take scary risks, calculated risks. And until you actually trust someone else, take a risk, and that's when you reap the reward. I not to get too preachy, but I have my business partner. He's also a huge mentor to me. One of the things he tells me says, Drake, you have to prepare for the blessing. Like, if you're not doing things to prepare yourself for growth, you're never going to grow. Like, growing doesn't happen by accident. Growing is it's a process of when you prepare, you will grow. It doesn't just happen. And one of the things that you can do to prepare for that blessing is partnering with a solid marketing team that can actually help you grow. And when that happens, then you have another problem of, oh, I need to hire detailers. I've got to actually grow. So anyway, dude, I just want to say thank you, man, because it's like the website you guys built for me is beautiful. The y'all going through my business profile and actually dial it in, because I personally made it all myself, like we talked about in the beginning. But when I paid these guys to go through and optimize it, now it's all pretty, the right pictures, the address is getting verified. I'm no longer listed as a boat repair shop. I don't even know how the heck that happened. But there's like such little things, and then the Facebook ads it's just crazy, man. It's literally changed my business. I went from by myself when I first moved back here to Pensacola to having 5 full-time employees now and being booked out for 4 months. Like, it's crazy. I can't make it up, man.
That's awesome, man. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
It's been, guys, I think we literally started working together 2 weeks after you moved back to Pensacola. So I've been watching it since the moment you've got back, and you were like, damn, dude, this is a lot of money. And I'm like, I know, but look where we are today.
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy too is like, so many detailers, including myself. I didn't grow up with money. My parents weren't rich. I had nothing. So when you think $2,000 a month for some ads, you're just like, that's more than my rent payment. What the heck are you talking about? But it's an investment into your business. When I spend $2,000 a month in ads, I make 20,000 back. So if you think about that, who would not take, if someone came to you and said, hey, give me $2,000 and I will hand you $20,000 back, you'd say, shut up, take my money, because that's what it is. Now, it doesn't always happen that easy right away, but you have to look at it in that when it comes to our marketing budget, it's when you invest the $2,000 now, you're going to make your money back in the back end when you do it right. Now, a lot of people get messed up like I did for years, and I put $500 in, which is very little risk, which equals very little reward. The higher risk you take, the higher reward you'll ultimately, get back.
Hopefully. That's the plan.
Hopefully. When you do it with the right people, because
when you do it with the right people.
Back then, if I was running it myself and I put $2,000 in, I probably wouldn't have gotten that return because the ads weren't completely optimized like you guys do. These guys split test everything. They change the headline, the copy, the video, and they're constantly changing. Every time I see my ads, something's different about it, and it's because they'll see a 1% growth and then a 0.5% growth and then a 1. And when we started off at 1% conversion, now we're at 4 or 5% conversion because of all the little testing over time. And the longer you work, the better they get.
Exactly. And I think to the fear thing, like, you don't want to be the bottleneck in your business. That's it. If you're the one that's scared to grow, like we run a business as well. We do marketing. We do all the same things. Business, there's a saying that I really like, is all business tastes like chicken. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same, whether you're doing an online business like we are, whether you're detailing boats, whether you're making custom canvas for boats, doesn't matter. It's the same processes. It's the same fears that every single person that starts it or runs it or wants to grow, they go through. So we spend money on marketing. We spend time making our systems good. We have a lot of things that we have to make sure we do well for our clients. Some clients hate us at some point because they just had a crappy day and now they have a fight with us. It's the same thing. Everyone, like, it's business tastes like chicken. You have the same problems. But like you're saying, the risk, you have to risk in order to get reward. And it's the same as whether you go to the gym and you work out. It hurts in the moment and it's scary and it sucks. But then on the other side of that, that's when you see the actual growth take place.
Yeah.
And you basically just have to sit there and swing. You're just swinging the whole time. You might miss a few times, but you might hit a few that'll like, okay, that'll make 10 times the reward than if you didn't swing at all just because you were scared. And what's the worst that can happen? Like, I mean, we're not living in, you know, unfortunately, like third world Africa. I mean, we're in Africa, but like it's, we've been in the news in the US a lot lately. But like you can always get up and try again. That's the biggest thing. Like, yes, it sucks and it's scary and maybe it is difficult and maybe we don't know your situation, but it could be bad, but you can try again. Like there is ways to make it happen. Like you were saying as well, don't be afraid of rejection. Annoy people. Tell them that you're about your business. Tell your friends, family to tell their friends and family about you and your business. Do jobs for free, do jobs for 50% off, then raise your prices. Like once you have some money, put it into ads, make sure that it's growing. And also the other thing that as well from the ads and the marketing, which I just thought of was, it's also not necessarily from that. People will see that ad and they'll see you working on a boat and they'll be like, flip, I saw them on Instagram or Facebook. Let me go chat to them and see if they can do my boat. So it comes from all these indirect sources as well. Like we said, marketing is to make known. They will see you and your business and they could get at you from any other way.
Man. I mean, and that's good. It's like, diversifying your marketing, you know, word of mouth is king. Like, you know, and I'll just kind of recap on all of this. All of this stuff will essentially not matter if you don't do a good job and make your client happy, because it's just a matter of time that if you are shysting people, doing crappy work, you know, under like whatever, you know, just not being ethical about things, it's just a matter of time before people know and your business will eventually fail. So all of this stuff, in order to make all of this stuff count, you have to do a good job. And even if you're not a perfect boat detailer and you're not going to be on your first day, you know, you can make a boat look better than it does. And even if you fail and maybe you buff it wrong or whatever else and it doesn't look good, you can still treat people really well and still make a happy client out of that. I can't tell you how many times like we've had scenarios with boats that don't go as planned, or especially in the beginning, it's like I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm trying to make things look good. But I admit that to the client. I treat them well, maybe give them a little money off or whatever because I didn't like the outcome. And people still referred me because they liked me as a person, because I simply just did the right thing. And, you know, when you do that, like people respect that. They respect the hustle, and they will tell their friends, you know, they'll tell their friends about who you are. Then they'll be more inclined to leave good Google reviews. It's hard to get a good Google review if you're not doing good work. So treat people well, do the right thing, and your business will grow. You know, I'm a believer too. Like I don't expect all you guys out there to be Christians, but it's like if you trust God and do the right thing, your company will grow, because God wants us to. He wants us to prosper. You know, that's my belief. God wants us to prosper in this life. He wants you to be healthy. He wants you to make money to provide for your family. So trust God, do the right thing, and then hire Justin and their company to do your marketing. So.
There we go. Let's go.
That was a good plug.
I like it. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it better myself.
Do the right thing. Trust God.
Hire us.
That's good. Hire us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we should make my next Facebook ad that. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Do the right thing. Trust the
Trust
Lord.
God.
Hire Revival.
Hire us. There we go. Let me write
awesome,
that down. That's our next test.
Yeah, that's good, bro. Is there anything else you want to touch on, man? I feel like we provided a ton of great value. I mean, this is thousands of dollars worth of information right here that people can literally take and go right now and make money tomorrow. So
I think like this is the basics. And I was just looking at my notes now. So I have a document of all the business advice that I've gained over the last 10 years doing business, of just basic things that I always revert to. I'm surprised at how many of the things I forget. So I went through them before this call, and I was just looking at what are the things that I thought were golden nuggets that I could at least share, and I was just reminded a whole bunch of them. And like some of the basic things were, is like, just keep it simple. Like there's a few things that matter, and they matter the most. So you can do a lot of things, and there's a lot of fluff and stuff that you can do this, you can do that, whatever the case is. Like if you focus on 4 or 5 things initially, even 1 or 2 things, do those and do them well. So if you want to spend a month just posting on Facebook, do that. If you want to spend another week trying to dial in your Google, do that. If you want to spend another week dialing in your technique for detailing on one specific thing, do that. Like just don't try to do 100 different things in 1 month. Growth takes time. It's a bit of patience in that, which we don't like in this modern society. We want things now. But it's just, if you do one thing and you dial it in over a longer period of time, you'll start seeing the results.
Yeah, that's good. Can I add something to that?
Go for it.
Yeah. So with what Justin said, I love that. It's like, whatever you do it with excellence. That's the way I hear it. It's like, be intentional. Like, don't just take a photo. Like, learn how to take a good angled photo. Like, don't just write a Facebook post. Go on ChatGPT and say, write me a great Facebook post. Like, because you could say, like, call us today, we detail boats. And it's like, but if you actually have something nice and presented nice, you're going to get better conversion. So what I hear is like, whatever you do it with 100% excellence. That's good, man.
Exactly. Yeah. And that scales. That grows over time. People trust you. Yeah. They'll tell the next person. And like you're saying, the best marketing is referrals. That is the cheapest form of marketing and the best marketing, because people trust you. So for example, Drake is referring us now. The reason why, we do a good job, right?
Yeah.
And it's easy for you to trust him that we do a good job because you would trust him and he does a good job. So it's the best way to do it. And that's another way you can ask people to give you referrals. Give them a discount. Say, hey, if you refer to us a friend of yours that has a boat, we'll give you 10, 20% or 15% off your next detail, or whatever the case may be. And they're like, sick. I just have to tell my friend to get his boat done by you guys and you charge me less. Deal. Yeah. Or you can do different things. Use ChatGPT to come up with creative ideas. Like there's ways that can separate you. So even if you just spend a few minutes a day or an hour a week of just trying to think, how can I separate myself from the detailer down the street, you will do way better in the long run.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's good. A mindset that I have, and it's very subconsciously now, but like typically when I try to do things, my mindset is, how can I be the absolute best at doing this? And I'm not always the best, and I miss that by a lot half the time. But just having that mindset of like, how can I be the absolute best person in the world at posting before and afters in a local fishing group? Yep. Just having that mindset, you will naturally go after excellence. Years ago now, 10 years ago, when I was kind of detailing boats and kind of getting into like, do I even want to do this as like a career, and kind of hating it at the same time, and all this stuff, I clicked and I said, I'm going to be the absolute best boat detailer in my city. Like, I'm going to go after that. And when I did that, that's when I started to learn about compounds and different pads and different types of machines. And that was my goal, is like, how can I be the absolute best in the world in my city? Like, I want to be the absolute best. And I went after that, and I have achieved that. I can not even like arrogantly say that, but in my city, there's no one that can touch me. That sounds kind of arrogant when I say that. So that's really not my intention. I'm just saying, like, I've just achieved that. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world, because I know there's other detailers out there that probably be better than me. In Pensacola, no one's touching me.
But the evidence backs it up. The evidence backs it up.
Exactly.
Look at your Google reviews. Look at these things. It can be arrogant if you say the wrong way, but there's the proof that backs it up, and you can say, I am the best. And you can tell clients, listen, I'm the best. And the reason why I say that, go look at all of this, and this. And if you find someone better than me, go with them.
Yeah, for sure. And, and it's just having that mindset of I want to be the best. It's just going to call you higher on everything that you do.
Brand matters a lot. Good brand image equals promises made and promises kept, but always deliver above the promises made. Brand is what people say behind your back.
Oh, that's good. I like that. A brand is not a logo.
Brand is not a logo. Brand
Yeah.
is what people say behind your back. When you
That's
leave
really
and a
good.
client says something about your business to someone else, that is what your brand equals.
Yeah. I've heard it say too that your brand is just your reputation. Like that's all it is. So
Yep.
in essence, what do people know you for? That is your brand. Your brand's not your logo. It's not who you even pretend to be. It's what is your reputation. And it takes years to build that and seconds to lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's everything with life, business or personal. It's the exact same. The last one is, I can say, so to think like an investor, which is a difficult thing to say, but effectively that means when growing your business, you must think like an investor. Remove your emotions and look purely at what would grow the business, and then put your money in there. So you remove yourself and almost pretend that you are giving business advice to a friend of yours. Because if you tell a friend, hey, listen, if you just did marketing, your business would grow, it's easy to tell them because the risk is not on you, but you know that would work for their business.
Yeah.
And then you just say, okay, so if that is the thing that would work for their business, if my business was theirs and that would work for them, that's basically giving yourself the answer. And you're just saying, okay, cool. I just have fear of this or uncertainty about this, but I know this is the answer. Therefore, I should just do it regardless of how I feel about it.
Dang. Yeah, that's good, man. That's actually really good because I like that, like thinking like an investor, and that goes back to the marketing budget thing. It's like if you take the emotion out of it, because like I'm a really emotional guy. My emotions woo all over the place. And it's like if I take the emotion out of like the physical, like, oh, 2,000 a month or 500 a month or whatever that marketing budget may be one day, when you take that emotion out and you're like, hey, if I do 2,000 and I get 20,000, it's a no-brainer. But it's taking
Why would
that
I not do
fear.
it?
Yeah, exactly. It's removing that fear, that uncertainty, that the what ifs. Like that's my downfall, is the what ifs. Like, what if this doesn't work? What if I lose my money? What if I can't pay my rent? What if, what if? All those what ifs will hold you back for the rest of your life.
Yep.
I've learned that personally for myself. Like and also too, this is kind of a side personal development thing, but it's like anytime I step into what ifs, typically self-pity comes right after that. Why me? Why can't I get ahead? Why can't I do this? And the reason why you can't get ahead is because you're letting that fear hold you back. And those are I mean, that speaks to me personally, man, because that's two areas in my life that I had to kick: self-pity and that fear, that fear of what if. Because typically when we step into those like what if moments, it's never like what if in a positive way. Like, why can't we reframe that? Like for my business, like, what if I spend this $2,000 and I make 30 grand? What if I invest in marketing and my company grows by 10 times this year? Like reframing things and thinking positive and trusting God. Like we said again, man, like God is the God of abundance. And when we remove that emotion out, we can tend to think a heck of a lot clearer. And yeah, man, just
it's way easier.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like personally,
Go
like
for a walk.
personal, yeah, dude. I mean, personal journey of mine, man. Actually, this last year, where I've grown the most in my personal life, is actually removing a lot of my crazy emotion. Like all those negative thoughts and stuff that held me back for years. Like literally trusting God, because there's a difference between saying you trust God and actually trusting God.
I can attest, don't worry. Same.
I really do feel like we need to have a full conversation on that, because like there's just so much emotion that business owners, it's money, it's reputation, it's everything's on the line. And the truth is, man, it's really not that big of a deal. And if you fall, you can get right back up. God has not brought you this far to let you fail. Like he hasn't. And when you fall, and at least in my life, the times that I've fallen the hardest, that's when God has been there the most for me and picked me up and rebuilt me into a much better person, rebuilt my business into a much better business. And I'm so thankful for it. I don't want to fall again, but I am thankful for the past experiences. So cool,
And
man.
most of the time, it's just our pride that's dying. That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Most of the time,
And
that's what it is. It's just we are prideful that we are scared to fail because of what other people might say or how we feel about ourselves. And it's like,
yeah.
get over yourself. Like if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and dude, the reality of that too is that not that many people are thinking about you that much. Like,
Exactly.
I
No one.
had someone, like my mentor in my life, man, told me that, like, no one cares. They're dealing with their own stuff. They're insecure about their own stuff. Not that many people care about you that much. Like, and it sounds kind of morbid, but it's like, in a way, I mean, there's people that love you and all that stuff. I'm not saying that, but I'm like, no one's going like, oh, look at that guy. He spent marketing money and lost it. Like, what a loser. Like, no one even knows, you know, they're too busy wrapped up into their own stuff. Anyway, dude, thank you so much for just jumping on here today. This went a little bit longer than I intended, but I mean, it's a great conversation. I feel like we provided a bunch of value. I feel like we honored God in the process, man, and I really do feel like this is going to help some people. So, you got any last words you want to just kind of share before we hop off?
No, I mean, I think we've covered a lot. There's practical things as well. So there's practical things that you can do in the business. There's things that you can do on yourself. Like, you don't want to be the bottleneck. So a lot of time you just need to get out of your own head, go for a walk, sort it out, and then do the few fundamental things that will help the business in the beginning. When it starts growing, then you're able to do other things, hire, put more money into this to grow it further. It's a simple process. Doesn't mean it's easy.
That's right, dude. That's right. It's simple, but not easy.
But difficult.
And that's, quite frankly, that's life. I mean, it's like
Amen.
Wake up every day, do the best you can. It's a simple process, but God, life is hard sometimes, man. And business is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, raising 5 kids, being married, which that part's easy. My wife's amazing, but it's like having all this stuff in my life, business and the ups and downs and payday when payroll comes out. It's like, oh God, you know, things happen. Life is hard, but guys, keep pushing through. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got any value out of today's video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell notification. If you want to reach out to Justin at RainCheck, we have his link, everything, description in the bio. Contact him, tell him that you watched this video and that it impacted you. Guys, his company's completely changed my business. Like, I'm not saying that for flattery. It's just literally the honest truth. The website they built, the marketing, everything they've done has been incredible. And yeah, man, just appreciate you for jumping on here and sharing some wisdom with everyone. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Anytime.
All right, we'll see you guys. Let's go.
Bye.